we are going to we're going to actually get serious here for an hour, which is always good. So welcome to it. It is International Live. It is KJAGradio.com. Also 990 WBOB in Rhode Island, of all places. And DJ Dan is with me. How are you, sir?
Very, very well, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good, actually.
Good.
You were just telling me that snow is all around you. While
covered in snow. Actually, I've got some nice pictures on my Instagram. If you're missing the snow, that is easy one for you.
You're missing the snow
because I have to walk the dog twice a day because he's a big dog. So snow or sun, he needs walking, unfortunately. So yeah, I've been dragged around the park while he eats the snow.
Well,
getting very excited.
You know,
fun.
getting dragged around the park. That's awesome. Well, speaking of somebody who doesn't get dragged around the park, Madeline joins us today. How are you, Madeline?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good, actually. You are amazing. Tell us a little bit of how we can get a hold of you online and your social media and all that, and then we will do our thing.
I'm on all the social media sites, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. It's all Madeline Castrey, so pretty easy to remember, just the same name across all platforms.
Awesome.
And always looking to welcome new people into the community.
Awesome. So, Dan, I guess I'll let us... You start us off here since you guys are the two Brits.
Thanks for coming on the show, Madeline. Can you just give us a quick introduction to our listeners on the sort of type of music you make?
Well, my type of music is, it's a modern take on smooth jazz, kind of infused with lots of different influences. My big driver when I'm making music is to make the genre a bit more accessible. So it's kind of integrating smooth jazz with a bit of modern pop to kind of create this velvety beat that I hope a lot of people will resonate with.
That's cool. Bit different as well. So how did you get started into that?
Well, it's a bit of a weird story, actually. I'm actually an opera singer by trade. I've always trained classically. I once had a teacher when I was growing up who said that if you can sing classically, you can sing anything. So I had a big love of classical music from a really young age. And I think from that, I was really inspired by just creating different types of music, and then obviously that branches off into having a bit more freedom, which is why I fell in love with the jazz genre. So for me, it's all about experimenting with harmonies and really taking that composition centric approach to making new music. So it's a mix of all my different passions, really, and I think both of those genres, classical and jazz, can be quite misunderstood, particularly by listeners who, are quite fixed on just the commercial pop. So if I can kind of integrate different influences and get more people listening to that type of music, that's a big driver for me.
That's cool. And your background, do you come from a musical family at all?
I actually don't. No, my mum probably won't thank me for saying this, but her big phrase for that was I couldn't carry a tune in a paper bag. So it's not at all. But they probably won't thank me for saying it though.
Now you're in UK. Can you just let us know whereabouts you are?
I'm actually just south of London.
South London. There we go. That's right. It's nice to have someone else from the UK on the show, Jiggy.
Could hear the accent straight away. Where are you from?
Leicester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lockdown Leicester. Yeah.
We often talk on this program every once in a while when I'll be traveling or something. Dan is just amazed by all the time zones because he always says in the UK there's no time zones. You drive straight through. So
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, you've got 3 in America, right?
Yeah,
East, Central, and West. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a nightmare.
Because when we go to book guests on this program, I'm always having to juggle the stuff. So it's a lot easier when Dan gets us a UK artist or I get us a UK artist. I know it's one time zone. Yeah. So I was really happy that we were able to get you on with us today. So, what is your social media following like? What do they think of your music and everything?
Well, actually, I've had some really nice comments, and I think for me at the moment is trying to build the following and get more people into the genre. But I've had some really nice comments that it kind of channels Corinne Bailey Rae vibes, a little bit of Norah Jones, and I'm always interested to hear sort of the comparisons. I did have a message just yesterday from somebody saying you sound like Charlene Spiteri from Texas, and I hadn't thought of that before. So it's always interesting to hear the comparisons that listeners draw. But I think for me, it's when people resonate with the lyrics is a really lovely thing to hear. And when people say, particularly for my new song, Love Myself Again, it's very much an anthem for kind of falling back in love with yourself and being empowered. So I think when people resonate with that, when all of these songs are written for you to kind of channel your own feelings, when somebody else then latches onto that and it helps them, particularly in the world we live in at the moment, which is very, very challenging for everybody, that's really heartening for me to hear all of those responses.
Awesome.
Have you got a producer you work with, or do you work with lots of different producers, or do you produce your own music?
A bit of a mix, actually. I love producing my own music. I love.
Oh, cool.
So I've always kind of had the piano as my second instrument. So I try and produce a little bit where I can, but I always find that it's hard editing your own voice. I think I can't listen to myself back. It's really, really hard because you're your own worst critic, aren't you? It's like, oh, my breathing's a bit too loud there, a bit gaspy there, and it's it's always really hard. But I was lucky to be contacted by a small production company in London who have produced my most recent couple of tracks. But yeah, I'm always on the lookout to work with new creatives, and I think that's kind of the silver lining of this situation at the moment is a lot of people have become a lot more digital, and a lot more people are kind of willing to reach out, albeit virtually. So there's a bit more connectivity, even across the globe as I'm talking to you in the USA.
Yes.
It is lovely to see that kind of thing coming out of such a difficult time.
Well, you brought up your track "Love Myself Again." Give us a little bit more details on this before we play it here.
Well, this track, it's one that's very, very special to me, and it's, as with a lot of my music, actually, it just comes from walking around and observing. And this particular track is very much an anthem for falling back in love with yourself, feeling empowered, and it's, for me, it's a little bit more soul-y than what I usually create, and it's a little bit more chilled in terms of how it sounds. But I think it's one that is really important for me and for this particular time, because it asks a lot of questions, and I think they're questions that, with the time and space that we've had because of this pandemic, they're questions that I've asked of myself. And from what the feedback I've had so far, it's the same sort of thing that people are saying. Actually, these lyrics really resonate because it's giving myself time to ask myself why I can't give myself this space and this love, really, this self-love, which I think we all kind of are guilty of pushing to the back when other things take priority. So this is very much an important song for me, and I just hope people resonate with it and enjoy it as much as I enjoy creating it.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to go to this track, and we will be back here in just a few seconds. It's Love Myself Again, and it's here on International Live.
I'm walking in a sea of lonely people, trying to read the signs. Some people who seem confident are the people who seem shy. And why do we do this to ourselves? Caught in trying to be the version people want to see. I don't want to play this game. I just want to stay the same. If you want to be with me, you gotta like what you see. I'm not changing, not rearranging myself. Cause if you want to hold my hand, you gotta understand I wanna stay the same. I wanna love myself again. I'm following a road I never walked down and getting lost amongst the lines. It's alright to make a new direction, but affection is what I need. And why do we do this to ourselves? Caught in trying to be the version people wanna see. No, I don't wanna play this game. I just wanna stay the same. And if you wanna get to know how we can be close, you gotta let yourself go. I don't wanna run with indecision. I gotta choose the way I want to be. So if you want to be with me, you gotta like what you see. I'm not changing, not rearranging myself. 'Cause if you want to hold my hand, you gotta understand I wanna stay the same. I wanna love myself again. 'Cause if you want to be with me, you gotta like what you see. I'm not changing, not rearranging myself. 'Cause if you want to hold my hand, you gotta understand I wanna stay the same. I wanna love myself again.
Fantastic. That is a tremendous, tremendous song. Here on International Live, we're going to go back to our guest.
Bases, you know.
And I think we've got our guests. And Samantha, that was a tremendous track. You know what the heck you're doing with this music thing.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Love myself again. That's the song. It's just about falling in love with yourself, and I hope that you enjoyed it.
Have you got any plans to do any music videos, or have you got a music video?
Oh, I do have a music video for this. It was actually, I was really lucky. The wonders of Instagram. Somebody got in touch with me from a videography little company in London who were just starting up, and they said, "We'd love to use you as a little project to do a video." And I was like, "Oh, amazing! That's fantastic!" And yeah, really, really enjoyed making the video for this. So yes, it is on YouTube if you want to have a watch. It's got a little bit of a story going through it. So if you want to have a little virtual tour of London, you see some of the loveliest spots around the city. So it is a pretty video. If you do want to give it a watch, I hope you enjoy it.
And are you featured in it? Are you going to be in the video?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. Cool. What production company was it? Just give me a shout out if you can remember.
All Productions. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Sorry, shout them out again. You broke up then.
It's really hard alliteration. There's lots of P's. Pink Pebble Productions. I always trip
Pebble
with that.
No, you did very well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've got this music. What's been some reaction to either the video or even the song that we just played?
Well, I think from the video, a lot of people have enjoyed seeing London in its glory, and that it suits the song in that sense that there's a mixture of sort of old and new in the way that I've integrated the styles in the music as well. It just seemed like the perfect place to film it. And in terms of the song, I've had a lot of people write to me about the lyrics and how much they resonated, and obviously the vocals as well. It's a lot of people who have followed my music before have said it's quite nice to hear me singing in a different style with a bit more sort of smooth elements to it. So really it's so useful for me sort of as a writer of my own music and a singer to kind of hear the reactions and tailor my my next releases and my next songs to what people really respond to, because ultimately it's all the audience reaction is what matters the most. So
it must be quite exciting, I'd thought. It gives you good motivation.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, comments and feedback and responses, they really just spur you on. I think we've all kind of had, as artists, we've all had moments where we've had quiet moments where, maybe we haven't got as many responses as we'd like, and that it does affect you. So any response that you get is so appreciated, even if it's just a thumbs up. It just gives you that motivation to carry on creating, and creating little pieces of art that people can enjoy whenever they need it.
What's your 2021 looking like? Obviously, we're still in lockdown, so there's no live shows, unfortunately. But any sort of live streams or anything planned?
I haven't got many live streams at the moment, but for me it's studio sessions really, and I'm actually writing an EP at the moment, so getting more music out. I've got another song that I recorded a couple of weeks ago, so that'll be coming out very soon actually. I'm just waiting for a date for it, but that'll be coming out early spring, which is very, very different. Again, it's a bit more, I've had the response I've had so far is it's a bit more funky than we're used to hearing you, so funky. You have to wait and see. But yeah, writing an EP, getting that out, more videos, and just trying to interact with a wider network. That's my 21.
When you're writing your music, are you taking ideas from your sort of real life experiences all the time?
Absolutely. There's always moments where, you know, actually I've had evenings out in London where I've just been sitting by Tower Bridge and I've just thought, this is a song right here. And sometimes surprised with Love Myself Again, it was a mixture of kind of people around and observe, channeling your own sort of opinions and what you think of yourself and how you wish other people would you know, love themselves and engage with themselves and explore their own feelings. So sometimes it's kind of channeling opinion, sometimes it's channeling experiences, but it all of it really resonates with me as a person, and that's what makes it all the more touching when other people relate to that too.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, you have been a treat. Thanks thanks for coming on with me and Dan today, and bringing us your music and everything. This has definitely been fun.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on, and I hope to talk to you again sometime.
Before you go, Madeline, can you just remind us one more time where we can find you on social media?
Yes.
Yep. Always Madeline Castrey, and there's no fancy spelling of Madeline, it's just Madeline Castrey, and I'm on Spotify as well, YouTube. Yeah, look me up, and obviously if you can comment, like, share with your friends, share the love, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, we will do. We'll find you
That's
shortly.
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Madeline. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day, or wonderful, wonderful evening over there in the United Kingdom.
Evening, yep.
Yeah. Good night.
Hey, thank you, my friend. There she goes. And we are going to get our next guest here on International Live.